8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Hi, everyone. There we go.
Gotta love that intro. I mean, it's like I almost feel like I'm famous every single time that intro goes. It's not like Sports Center famous, you know. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Maybe we need to switch it up. Maybe we should put the Sports Center thing on there.
Hey, well, I don't know what copyrights, man. The other thing is, I'm always curious about the different copyright stuff now, especially with like even memes. Like I was doing research on it. It was like if someone has a famous face, there's liability stuff with that, and just like it's just so crazy the different rules of copyright.
Well, you look at all those people filming songs with their videos, and then I put a song in my video, and they told me I can't have it.
Yeah, I don't know to the extent of that at all. I mean, I don't know how that all plays out because it used to. I remember back in the day, it was like under a certain under time that you're allowed to use stuff. But anyways, I mean, let's get in. We got 10 minutes to work with, so let's get into this.
We already got 9. We're already on the clock.
Yeah, 8.5. Okay, so let me throw this out real fast. So I pulled these numbers. I thought this is kind of interesting. So I think we talked about it on the last one or one before that about the idea that they changed the rules, allow you to withdraw property and then cancel it and then put it back on the market like the next day, right? So since last Monday, okay, there's been 630 new single family and detached properties. I mean, single family and attached properties, so condos, townhomes, row homes, that kind of thing, right? 630. Okay, now since that time, there's also been 478 that have gone into escrow. Okay, and then 458 have actually sold. Okay, now, all right, now that's one thing, right? So, yet the really interesting thing is in that time frame, that same time frame, 178 properties were taken off the market, either withdrawn or canceled, and 106 were expired.
Oh. I think you're going to see a lot more of that happening, Vinny, because I think you're going to see a lot of people realize, wait a minute, now more than ever, if you hire the wrong professional to sell your house, you're going to have massive problems and you're going to inherit those. And I think a lot of people, if they weren't explained to this, like they just listed their house in the last 30 days, I don't think they know what they got themselves into, because now more than ever, with the lending guidelines changing, the amount of people selling their house changing, and the amount of buyers that can't qualify, I think you're going to see a lot more of that. I think there's going to be a lot more problems.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. I mean, people are afraid. I mean, they're afraid to put their house on the market, especially if the person helping them out is not familiar with the process. Even on the buy side, I mean, I've had a couple more properties that I've tried to look at for my clients where they're not allowing showings without accepted offer. And I know we talked about it on a previous one, but yeah, no showings without accepted offer.
I mean, and the other thing with the accepted offers right now, if you pony ride that back to where rates are and people with accepted offers, I mean, shoot, the 30-year fix now is at 3% now on conforming loan amounts.
Yeah.
And your high balance, it's like 3.5%, which is typically your most expensive loan you can get. For those of you out there who don't know, that's 485 up to 701. If you're in that bracket, that's the most expensive interest rate you get. Below the 485 is where you get the cheapest rates, which earlier today they dipped down to 2.875. Did cost a little bit of money, but when's the last time you ever heard of that? And if you look at today also, which was interesting, is the VIX. So for those of you who don't follow the stock market, but you're wondering like, how is it viewed of being, is it uncertain? What's the fear factor? I was just going to pull this up. I'm going to show you guys here because the VIX now is at a 43. I don't know if you can see that. See where it says VIX? That's a volatility index. It shows you how volatile the environment is. And now we're at a 43. 2 weeks ago, we were at a 69. The higher the number, the worse it is. So this number is getting smaller.
Yeah.
Which means interest rates are now stabilizing. And I think you're going to be stuck in this low rate environment right now for probably a whole year.
Wow. So you think it's going to go the whole year? Okay.
I think the whole year.
Where are you seeing rates like as of today, roughly?
Today, for your Apex perfect buyer, 3%, 3.125%.
Wow.
I mean, that's unheard of. Like Google historic interest rates and see what you find. You'll be blown away. I mean, people used to complain when the rate was 3.75, which was still a smoking deal.
What about on jumbo loans? What are you seeing there?
Ooh, the jumbo loan market keeps going like this, getting smaller.
Yeah.
Because they're making the restrictions harder, and there's going to be fewer players in the game. That if you're a jumbo shopper for the house, that's $1 million and up, looking around, I think your options are going to be way more limited, and not to mention your guidelines and restrictions are going to be way more tougher, especially if you're self-employed. That's where a lot of this is hitting people at home. That's interesting. Buying a home hits you at home is the people who are self-employed. That's really rough right now. So kind of a bummer. Hats off to all the entrepreneurs, though. I know that you help with that a lot on your podcast. It's tough business.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough time. People are getting creative, though. I mean, this is definitely the time to push you outside your comfort zone. I mean, I was talking to a realtor, and it was so funny because they sent me a picture of this drink to go from a restaurant, right? Cali Comfort, I had him on the podcast. If you want to get a to-go drink or some good barbecue, Cali Comfort. But yeah, being innovative. I mean, they're pushing these to-go drinks, and it was so funny because they don't really go to this place, but they saw this thing on their Instagram, and they're like, I'm going to go to it. I think the same thing is happening with realtors, with different businesses. It's pushing you out of your comfort zone to be creative. Which
is typically when you hear the word creative in the finance industry, interesting term. In real estate industry is being creative is how smart was the listing agent to market your property. Being creative is how smart was the buyer's agent to, look at their request and then plan like a chess move and go, I actually request this because I really wanted this.
Well, and the one thing I think you have to be very careful about talking about creative and that kind of stuff is to make sure you're receiving all the offers that you're getting on your property. Because as the market maybe gets a little weird, where we haven't got there yet, where we're seeing basically a drop fully sold properties. Yet as people don't sell as much properties as they might have, they start getting a little more go. Instead of taking another offer, I'm going to double end this and take my own offer. So if you're selling a property, if you are getting offers, then be very aware if your agent's double ending you.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more of that now, especially because I think, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be hurting in the overall economy. But I also think people will be hurting in the real estate economy, like me and you talked about, during our homebuyer seminar, is the person that sells 3 homes a year, 4 homes a year, they're going to be dying right now. And if they're listing your house, they're thinking about themselves and their paycheck and not what you're getting.
Yeah. Well, so we got basically a minute left. What are some last ideas, last feedback on people looking to purchase this week? What are you thinking until our next one?
I'm going to look at, as we're going into the summertime, which is traditionally the hottest buying season, I think this is going to be a slower summer, but I still think there's going to be quite a few good deals that are going to come across. And a lot of people think the industry is going to drop 15% home prices. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to go out and say I don't think it happens.
I would say anyone looking to purchase, be comfortable putting an offer contingent on seeing the inside of the property. Look at the 3D tours. Verify basically that you have at least a comfort level in there. Put the offer in there. You do have the ability to back out, but you're going to see more on that. I'm telling you, I've seen more and more of that more recently for residential. So be okay with that. Have that mindset that you can put an offer in, get your offer accepted, and if you have to back out, then back out.
Yep, I would agree. I think that's a good plan, because all the new Zoom things of open houses on Zoom is going to be huge everywhere.
All right, guys. So we've reached our limit, 10 minutes in. Follow us on our next one. We're going to be putting together another seminar. I don't know if a move up buyer or what's the investor one? What's the next one?
Let's do the investor buyer next, because there's going to be opportunities and people like to make money. I mean,
so we'll be doing, so we'll be doing an investor buyer one. Yeah. So if you need anything, feel free to reach out to myself or David. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.